This is Jill Pack with the Seasons of Joy podcast. This is episode number 118 entitled The Joy of Being You. Are you a woman of faith who is struggling to navigate your current season of life? Do you feel like life is just happening to you instead of for you? My name is Jill Pack, and I'm a certified faith-based life coach and a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. I want you to know that no matter your season or your circumstance, it is possible to create a more joyful life, and I would love to show you how. Are you ready? Let's go. Hello, my friends. Welcome to this week's episode of the Seasons of Joy podcast, where I share things that I believe will help you create more joy, especially in the mid-season of life. Before we get started today, I wanted to invite you to my next free webinar entitled Mending the Rift, Repairing the Relationships You Have with Your Adult Children Who Have Left the Faith That You Love. I'm going to share with you 7 tips to help you navigate this as the person you want to be without having to change anyone else. It's going to be held over Zoom on September 5th at 10 a.m. And if you're unable to attend live, I will send you the workshop replay out via email to all those who have registered. Understanding each one of these 7 tips is going to help you as you work towards repairing an already struggling relationship with your adult child, or help you put things into place that will help you before the rift occurs. And you can actually apply this to any relationship, but this is the one I'm focusing on, is with our adult children. Just click the link in the show notes to learn more. Also, the next session of my Season of Connection group coaching program begins on September 11th. This is a great way to see what coaching is like in a group setting. It is a safe place to learn how to create greater connection in your relationship of focus. You're going to bring a relationship to the group that you want to spend this time focusing on and applying the things that I'm going to be teaching you in there. And I'm going to show you how to manage yourself in the most challenging of relationships so that you can focus on being the person you want to be. So for just $99, you will get instructional videos, a workbook, and 3 months of support. So just click on the Work With Me tab to learn more, and the links will also be found in the show notes. So if you're ready to create more joy in your life, I would love to be your coach. Now on to this week's episode. Too often, we get caught up in comparing ourselves to others or trying to be someone we're not. But the truth is, the greatest superpower you have is the ability to simply be yourself. In this episode, we're going to explore practical ways to embrace and enjoy the wonderful person that you are. The first step is to appreciate your uniqueness. Now, each of us is one of a kind, and we all have our own special blend of talents, interests, even quirks, and life experiences. Far too often, we look at the things that make us different, and we see them as flaws or weaknesses, or a reason to separate us. Instead, we need to recognize that these unique qualities are what make us special. Maybe you have a quirky sense of humor that causes you to see the world just a little bit differently, or maybe a lot differently, right? Embrace that. Make jokes that make your friends laugh and light up the room with your comedic timing. Or perhaps you have this incredible ability to remember random facts and trivia that no one else seems to find interesting. Lean into that superpower. You will never know when that obscure knowledge might come in handy. Because the truth is, the things that make you different are what make you interesting. Think about that for a minute. The things that make us different from each other are what make us interesting. Your weird habits, your unconventional interests, your quirky mannerisms, these are the things that add texture and personality to who you are. Rather than trying to flatten out these unique edges, learn to celebrate them. When you can look at your differences with fondness instead of shame, which is what often happens, you open yourself up to a world of self-acceptance and self-love. You'll feel more comfortable in your own skin, and you'll be able to share your authentic self with the people around you. And that's when the magic really happens, when you tap into the fullness of your one-of-a-kind identity. So don't be afraid to be you. Lean into those things that make you unlike anyone else. They're what make you special, and they're what the world needs more of. Now, step 2, celebrate your growth. We're all a work in progress. I don't care who you are, right? We all are trying to improve and do better, and none of us are perfect. So rather than judging yourself for not being perfect, what if you could celebrate the progress that you've made? Maybe you used to be really shy, but now you put yourself out there more, or you've gotten better at managing your emotions. Growth takes time, so be patient and proud of how far you've come. I don't believe that this life is about how fast we can go from A to Z. Celebrate and enjoy the process of growth. The central message of one of my favorite books, The Gap and the Gain by Benjamin Hardy and Dan Sullivan, is that how we frame our progress and growth dramatically impacts our happiness and fulfillment. When we only focus on the distance between where we are and where we want to be, we are focusing on what they call the gap. If we constantly feel unsatisfied and dissatisfied with where we currently are, we are focusing on the gap. And when we focus on the gap, this can lead to feelings of stress, anxiety, and a never-ending desire for more. However, when we focus on the progress we've made from where we started, we can appreciate how far we've come and the growth that we've achieved, which leads to feelings of gratitude, accomplishment, and a sense of forward momentum. Now, as humans, it's so easy to have this gap mindset. Our society often emphasizes external measures of success, and it highlights how far we still have to go. But when we can step into a gain mindset, we empower ourselves. We give ourselves space to celebrate how far we've come. And by doing so, we experience more joy, more motivation, and more fulfillment in our lives. Step 3, honor your values. When we have core beliefs and principles that guide our decisions, whether we're consciously aware of them or not, right? We all have them. And these values shape how we see the world and what's important to us. They influence the choices we make, the relationships we cultivate, and the way we show up in our day-to-day lives. So I invite you to take some time to reflect on what's truly important to you. For example, is kindness one of your top priorities? Do you deeply value creativity and self-expression? Or maybe you have a sense of adventure and exploration, and that's what gets you most excited. And for many, family, community, and connection are the bedrock of their lives. But whatever your core values are, make sure you take time and make the effort to identify them. Write them down. Think about how they've been present or even absent in your life up to this point. And reflect on the times when you've lived in alignment with those principles and the moments when maybe you've fallen short. And then look for ways to actively incorporate those values into your everyday life. So if kindness is crucial to you, consciously look for opportunities to be helpful, compassionate, and understanding in your interactions. If creativity fuels you, carve out some time so that you can engage in artistic pursuits, even if it's just for 30 minutes a day. And if adventure is your thing, plan regular outings that allow you to explore and experience new things. When you make the intentional choice to live according to your deepest beliefs and principles, something remarkable happens. You'll feel a profound sense of purpose and authenticity. Your actions will be infused with meaning, and you'll experience a deeper connection to yourself, to the people in your life, and the world around you. It's not always easy to do this, right? It's not always easy to stay true to our values. It can be complicated sometimes because there are going to be times when it requires us to have courage. It might require sacrifice or even difficult choices. But the rewards are immense because when we align our lives with what matters most to us, we are able to cultivate a sense of fulfillment, satisfaction, contentment, integrity, and wholeness that is truly priceless. And then finally, step 4, take care of yourself. Enjoying being you, truly embracing and loving your authentic self starts with taking good care of yourself. This means prioritizing your mental, physical, and emotional well-being. When you invest in your own self-care, you equip yourself with energy and resilience and clarity, and this allows you to show up as your best self. So let's break it down just a little bit further and think about this for a minute. On the mental and emotional side of things, you want to make sure you're giving yourself the time and the space that you need to recharge and rejuvenate. It could look like setting aside time for meditation or journaling, disconnecting from screens and technology, or engaging in activities that soothe and nourish your mind and soul. Taking mental breaks allows you space and time to process your thoughts and your feelings. It helps you manage stress, and it helps you to prevent burnout, which are so common when we don't take the time to slow down and take those breaks. And don't forget the physical part of this. Physical self-care is so important too. Ask yourself if you're getting enough high-quality sleep. Are you fueling your body with nutritious whole foods? Are you able to find ways to move your body and release that pent-up energy you might be feeling? These basic self-care practices can have such a powerful impact on both your physical and mental health, and I would even add your emotional well-being. When your body is cared for, you will feel more vibrant, focused, and resilient because you'll know that you can handle the things that come your way. It's so easy in our fast-paced world to deprioritize your own needs in favor of work, obligations, or the demands of others. But the truth is, you can't pour from an empty cup. We've heard that before. When we neglect our self-care, we risk becoming depleted, overwhelmed, and unable to show up as our fullest, most authentic self. Embracing who you are and celebrating your unique gifts requires you first honor and nourish yourself. So be intentional about self-care, whether it's an early bedtime, a healthy meal, or simply a few minutes of quiet reflection. This act of kindness towards yourself will pay dividends in how you feel, how you function, and how you engage with the world around you. And after all, the most important relationship that you really will ever have is the one that you have with yourself. Treating yourself with love, respect, and care will empower you to live a life that is fulfilling, meaningful, and distinctly your own, while also enabling you to create greater connection with the relationships that you have with others, right? If we want to have a strong relationship with the people in our life, we have to start with nourishing ourselves. so that we are better able to function and engage in a way that is connecting. And finally, the world needs more people who are comfortable in their own skin. Think about that. How many people do you know that feel comfortable, really, truly comfortable in their own skin? If more people did, then what would the world look like? How would we get along? How would we interact with each other if we all felt comfortable in our own skin? So my invitation to you is to embrace all of your unique qualities that make you you. And the more you can appreciate and enjoy being you, the more you will be able to share your gifts with the world. And that's exactly what the world needs. More of you. Thanks for joining me, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you for tuning in to the Seasons of Joy podcast. I hope you enjoyed today's episode, and if you liked what you heard, don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and share with your friends and family. If you want to learn more about me or how to work with me, just visit my website, www.seasons-coaching.com, and have a joyful week.